All right. Hi, guys. My name is Allie Pig, and I just wanted to say thanks so much for joining us today for the College of Education Virtual Alumni Panel. We are so excited to have you a part of this panel and ask some questions about your Mizzou experience. Before we hop into some questions, can everyone go ahead and introduce themselves? You can share your name, your major that you studied while at Mizzou, the year you graduated, and your current title or employment. All right, Danielle, do you want to go first?
Sure. Sorry. I'm Danielle West, and I graduated last May, so in 2020. And I was an elementary education major, and I'm currently a kindergarten teacher in the Kansas City, Missouri area.
Awesome. Katie?
Hi, I'm Katie Mobley. I graduated last year in 2020, and I was a special education major. And I am currently a special education teacher in the Lake Washington School District in Washington. And I think that was the last question.
Yeah, awesome. Erin?
My name's Erin Robbins. I graduated in 2019, and I'm an elementary education major. And now I teach, I'm in my second year of teaching at Columbia Public Schools, 5th grade at Blue Ridge.
Awesome. And last but not least, Kelly.
Hi, my name is Kelly Fowler, and I graduated in May, and I'm a special education major at Mizzou. I'm working at Giant Steps as a senior program assistant, but in January, I'm leaving to teach English for 6 months on a Fulbright in Taiwan. So that's kind of I'm doing now, and I'm leaving soon to do that. So.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for those introductions. So we'll go ahead and get into questions. Feel free to just jump in wherever you see fit. So the first question we have for you guys, what is your favorite Mizzou memory?
I think that the most fun thing was just being a part of the Mizzou traditions. So like homecoming is a pretty like cliche example, but the idea that like I got to participate in that tradition was a really cool thought because it was the same traditions that my dad participated in when he went to Mizzou. So I think just the traditions at Mizzou are so special. So getting to be a part of those is kind of my favorite.
I was going to say something similar. I was just going to say like football games were pretty special to me, what I look back on.
Yeah, I would say there's so many different memories, and I think I loved most it was like I was given every opportunity to like, I don't know, do different things. There's so many endless opportunities at Mizzou, and like traveling, like I did a lot in college and like studying abroad and all these different opportunities. Like it really has anything you want to pursue or do. There's like so many opportunities that you can do that. And like there's so many types of people at Mizzou. So I think it's just all the opportunities I got from it, the people I met. So.
I think I was really involved in MSSPC, which was Mizzou Student Suicide Prevention Coalition, throughout all my years at Mizzou. And so my favorite memory was every year we like did a butterfly release. And so that's probably my favorite memory.
Awesome. Thanks to you guys so much. So the next question you guys kind of touched on already, but feel free to elaborate on whatever you said and add some more too. So the second question is, how were you involved during your time at Mizzou?
I was involved, something I was really passionate about when I went to Mizzou. I was in Greek. I was on the committee for the first couple of years, but it was called Panalytic. It was the accessibility committee for Greek life. And that was something I was on for like 2 years. And it was the thing I left Mizzou like the most proudest of, because we worked with Greek life in making it more inclusive for people with disabilities. And it's the thing I'm most proudest. Like I don't know, when I think back of Mizzou, like I don't know, everyone thinks of like how you left your mark, and that being on that committee was really kind of my like proudest thing. It was like my little child. And then I was also in Greek life, which I loved. And I don't know, studied abroad, and I did a lot of like different trips through like going to Vietnam or India and teaching abroad. Those were kind of the things I was involved in that I loved.
Yeah, so Greek life was a big one for me. I was involved in Greek life, and that also introduced me to a lot of other organizations or programs like MSSPC, MU Greek Allies, College Mentors for Kids. I also got involved with Adventure Club through my sorority, so that was kind of a big gateway to meeting other people that have my major and introducing me to programs that I might have been like hesitant to join in, but because I knew people there, I felt comfortable to kind of get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So
I was involved. Oh, go ahead. Daniel.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was involved in the SCEC, so Student Council for Exceptional Children. And that was pretty awesome because I got to learn a lot of things about students with disabilities that we just didn't have the time for in other classes. That's where it all went to. And we got to see a lot of cool visitors come and talk, and we had a lot of panels and that type of thing. And then something else that really was special to me was my host teacher ran United Challenge every year, which is the 3 different high schools. All of the students with special needs competed against each other in like a family fun event, and I helped her. She showed me how she ran it and organized it, and I helped her with all of that, so that was really cool.
And like I mentioned, I was in MSSPC all 4 years, which I really, really loved. And then in addition to that, I worked for Adventure Club, which was so much fun. Really enjoyed that. And then I also volunteered for Stripes and Away with Words and Numbers. So lots of really awesome opportunities to get involved at the zoo.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. The third question for you, was there a resource offered by the College of Education or Mizzou in general that you wish you would have discovered sooner?
I wish I would have started going to bridge events way earlier. I didn't really learn about the bridge until like my junior year, where I spent a lot of time in Townsend. But that is an incredible resource and opportunity to have discussions with all kinds of educators, and also maybe have some uncomfortable conversations that push you out of your little box that you're in. I feel like that resource really helped me grow as a teacher. So yeah, that was something I wish I would have gotten involved with a lot sooner, just because I loved it so much, like when I finally discovered it.
I wish I would have gotten involved in Student Council for Exceptional Children earlier, because I didn't get involved with it until like the end of my junior year, and then I was involved with it all through senior year. And that's just and not just special education majors, but any person that is in the education field can learn a lot about students with disabilities and how to help them in your classroom.
Yeah, I want to second what Erin said about the bridge, because it's the most, I think it's so underutilized by students in the College of Ed. And they have like, it's just this, they have different speakers who come. I would go to so many different events there, and I just loved it because they always had people with unique perspectives that really, there were a lot of uncomfortable conversations, but there were conversations that needed to be had. And especially when you're entering the profession of education, you're dealing with people, and you're dealing with people from different cultures. And it's so important to have those uncomfortable conversations before you become an educator. So I highly, highly recommend you go to the bridge, because it is a really valuable resource at Mizzou.
I also agree that the bridge is something that I wish that I had started going to sooner. I also didn't really go there until until junior year, and even then, I don't feel like I went as much as I could have. I definitely feel like I could have learned more if I had went more. So, yeah.
All right, awesome. And we have one more question for you guys today. What's the best advice you can offer to college education students today?
I think I'm just going to piggyback off of my last answer, which is it can be scary to have really open discussions about things that make you uncomfortable. But just like, is it Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kelly was saying that as educators, we have to constantly be adaptable and willing to grow and learn about the people in your classroom, or it could be, your coworkers. So if you like shy away from things that maybe you're not comfortable with or just not familiar with, it's going to make it harder to develop those skills like empathy, or it's going to make it harder for you to build an understanding of someone that's different from you if you are only surrounding yourself with people who have similar experiences. So it's really scary at first because you're just like, I don't know, and like it makes me nervous, but you feel so much better when you broaden your experiences and who you surround yourself with, because like Kelly said, someone bringing another perspective to your attention or to the table is so valuable, because you're like, wow, I've never would have even thought of something that way if you hadn't brought that up to me. So yeah, I just think be willing to have conversations that are hard, because it just comes with our profession. So it's good to start building that skill like early as possible.
I guess to piggyback off that, I would say to do things that are really uncomfortable to you when you're out doing pre-service work. So ask your host teacher, whoever you're with, like, hey, can I lead this lesson, or can I do that? Can I do something that you feel like you're maybe not should, or maybe you're overstepping boundaries, just because you need to put yourself in those shoes and do things that are hard, because once you get out in the real world, you just have to do it. So it's better if you do it with someone watching before you're out there doing it in real life.
And I would say, kind of going along with that, like just to ask like as many questions as you can of like your host teachers. I know it can be kind of hard sometimes, and like you feel like you're bothering them, but really like they have so much to teach you, and so just ask lots of questions and try to like start putting together like resources and different things like that. Like if you see something that you really love, like how your host teacher does it, definitely like actually write it down, or even ask them for like a copy of like the handout or of the lesson or something, and then like store that away so that you have it for later.
Yeah, that's all. That is awesome advice. I would say, just in my experience, just be open to the opportunities at Mizzou. And I don't know, I think that's the best thing to do, especially when you're going into college, because there's so many opportunities. And if you really seek out, like Mizzou has so much to offer you. And I also love to plug this whenever I can, but you should definitely reach out. There's the Teach Abroad, like global engagement office at Mizzou, and they offer like teaching in India for the summer. And there's so many scholarship opportunities and ways for you to go that I think it's not used enough by students. Like not enough students seek it out, but you should definitely look into that when you're going to Mizzou, because it was the best experience. You get like real world hands-on teaching in another country. And I learned so much through that. And just also in your field experience. I mean, you're constantly learning things, and Mizzou offers so much in the classroom experience that I'm like, my friends from other schools, they have much classroom experience that you do at Mizzou. So you should soak it up and just learn it up. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, just like soak it. It's so valuable.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for those responses. Again, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your experiences with us. Being able to learn from you guys is such a great opportunity for us students in the College of Education. True Tiger Network members, don't forget that you have an opportunity to continue these conversations by signing up for the Mizzou Mentoring Program. By taking just a short quiz, you'll be able to choose an alumni mentor with similar interests and career goals as you. For more information on that, you can check out mizzou.com/Mizzou mentoring. And that's all we have for you guys today. Thanks.
Thank you.